Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. First carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Pickett will look to throw it here. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
From the gun, here's Pickett. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game you play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On 2nd and 12, Pickett. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson rolling to his left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. This defense for the Steelers, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he is going to have the Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Browns at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right?
And that's going to be caught for Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw, Pickett. Going deep this time for Miller. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. He's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2 is not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. Trouble trying the middle here. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Out of the gun, Watson. Got a man, it's Brown. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal, escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Now throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they've been seeking.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Pickett now on 1st down. That's swung out wide to Harris. He's brought down at the 34. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Pickett back to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Boswell's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Browns drive about to get started. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Again, it's Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Second and 11 now. Here's Watson. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass in his first half. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This taken in at the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cleveland offense ready to go. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a first down. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
That is caught by Anderson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Chubb will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Chubb again, and he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a give, running left is Harris. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Greg Newsome. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. And they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Buying time to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It'll be a gain of 6, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. 20! And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw, Watson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half.
But it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs. At their own 13. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
1st and 10, here's Pickett. And he's got his target, Harris. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Off play action, Pickett. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Try him with Pickett here on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Pickett right back to the air again. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Denzel Ward. He's got daylight. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. York on now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd down. Here's Chubb again. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 67 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.